So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for investing your time being here with us today in the Sunday afternoon. And today we'll be talking about the discussion about NFT and GameFi, also the little bit of compliance in NFT. We also wanted to talk about something called physical access-based NFT, backed NFT, from one of our panelists here. So first thing is I want to pump up a little bit of the temperature in there of our audience. How many of you normally playing game every day? Show me your hand. Game every day. How many of you wondering what is the NFT? Show me your hand. Show me your hand. Okay. That's it. I can count. How many of you actually own NFT right now? Wow. Okay, the last question. How many of you actually making money every day by having an NFT issued by the games provider right now? Oh, okay, that's awesome. All right, so here's something that you can expect in the discussion. I want to take a little bit of time for you guys to introduce yourselves to all the audience here. And after that, I'm going to pump up the conversations with the questions so we can discuss about the topic. And half of the time of the discussion, we've been open for questions from our audience in order to ask questions so you can answer. Okay, so starting with you, Ismail.
Hi everybody, my name is Ismail. I'm an advisor in the space and currently the Chief Growth Officer of Emirex. We are a MENA-focused blockchain technology infrastructure company. We support both businesses in providing them with an investment, infrastructure, and advisory platform to grow within the space. And we also provide retail investors with an opportunity to trade and invest in cryptocurrencies. So that's pretty much me. I'm going to pass it on now.
Hi everyone, thank you. I'm Jodie from Metastoric and I'm a startup here in Dubai, and I create physical exhibitions where I work with emerging and contemporary artists. We then take that physical asset which the artist has created and we turn it into an NFT. And my next exhibition is here in Dubai. It's in January, the 17th of January, we're launching the exhibition in Foundry Gallery in downtown. So I would love to invite you all to come. And the title of our exhibition is going to be called Business Art, Blood, Sweat and Tears. And I'm super excited to showcase this exhibition. Also, in January, I'm also launching a digital art fund, which will be based out of Gibraltar. So we'll raise capital for the fund, and then we will acquire digital assets, which will predominantly be NFTs. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Bill. I'm the CEO of the Ankots of Misteria, and Zahid, who already presented, is my colleague. And he already go through the game with you guys. And I want to introduce our the policy for the new joiners. As we can notice from the time to time, when the NFT price is going high, right? And it's preventing a lot of people, new joiners, who actually want to join the game. So we have two kind of strategies. First, we have a scholarship program that allows the users, the newcom users, use the NFTs of the existing owners, and they're going to share the profit. And a second we have is the renting program. Also, we have for the new joiners that they can rent NFTs from the existing owners, and instead of sharing the profit, they don't have to share the profit, they just pay the renting fees at one time. So these are the new features I want to add for the game. And we are a play-to-earn strategized game, and just welcome you guys to play.
I'm Valentin Preobrazhenskiy, founder of Latoken crypto exchange. We are the largest in the world launchpad with more than 50% of token launches in human history. More than 250 tokens were launched. we are doing token adoptions. So we bring thousands and thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands new token users to startups. So startups bring their money, currency, cryptocurrency, which is a better currency, and we use this to buy users, to bring new people into crypto. And that's how we acquired 2 million users. So we have more than 1 million mobile users and another million in web with 25,000 5-star ratings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, not everyone here is doing gaming, right? You have an exchange and you are doing in NFT with physical access. But whatever your role in the industry is, today you will come home with totally new things. Something that's totally fresh, the strategy, the perspective that can apply to your business to be more successful. So I mean, gaming is something that is booming right now. It's like 180 billion US dollar value, and it's expected to be 268 in around 2025. And when you compare to like gaming, to like filming the whole world is like the value is 100 billions. And with all the sport in North America combined, every year you have an annual revenue of 73 billion. So it's staggering number, right? And gaming starts like in the 50s with the game like the Pham. In my time, I used to play Mario, Contra, things like that. Yeah, and after that, with the computer, we buy game like, yeah, I mean, one time buying like $60, $50 per game, per CD, to play at home, one time only. But everything changed a lot until today. The model is changing. The freemium is coming. So now something like Fortnite, you play for free and you can use money to do microtransaction, in-app purchasing, using money to buy your animations, power, skill, everything. And this is something very interesting until the blockchain comes. When we have blockchains, because something like Fortnite, all the things you buy still owned by the platform, not you, right? You cannot control that. You buy, you spend money, you pay to them, and then they still own your things. But some companies like Axie Infinity, it's a company that disrupts this model by applying blockchain. So players right now, they actually can own things in the games. They can make money too, not just owning, make money. They can sell back things, they can staking that coin inside to, play and earn at the same time. So what do you think, you guys think that, blockchain can improve gaming in the future from now on? Ismail, you want to? Okay, fine.
I think blockchain technology obviously has many applications, one of which is gaming. I think we should look at it from two different perspectives in terms of the game producers and as well as the gamers themselves. So in terms of the game producers, I think, to keep it short, the biggest advantage to them is interoperability. I think having blockchain technology will allow them to onboard users more quickly because of the integrated gaming profiles. Moreover, there will be interoperability with the in-game assets. So this will kind of allow or enable their users to transfer their in-game assets swiftly across the entire portfolio of games. For example, like Unity, under the Unity brand, there's multiple companies with different, multiple games. So that's obviously one advantage, two advantages for them that I feel are at the top of the list. In terms of the gamers themselves, I think, as you mentioned, Axie Infinity, there's a whole fun aspect of it, but there's another whole aspect in which it actually provides an alternative source of income for many people. And, using blockchain technology, this will allow them to actually create value with every minute that they spend in the game. And these in-game assets, with the help of companies like Engine and Affinity, they'll be able to utilize these assets in the real world. And, actually, a great way to bring this up is, NeBank, a fintech bank that enables cryptocurrency. integrating these into the games will allow users to actually realize this as an alternative form of income. So yeah, I suppose that those are my suggestions. Would you like to contribute as well, or no? Oh, good. Oh, sorry.
Bill, I want to hear your voice on how you apply blockchain. What do you think blockchain can have in gaming in the future? I mean, from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this in the gamer's perspective because personally I'm a gamer. I play a lot of games, and there are two aspects I noticed from the traditional games that all the game producers and companies, they actually encouraging people to actually top up and do the in-game purchase. And at that moment, actually, the players put the money inside the game, the value start to depreciate, right? That is pretty common in the traditional game industry. So basically, when we mention the games concept inside the traditional industry, that we always think that we are wasting money and time, right? For the most of the perspective. But it comes to the blockchain part that we actually start a concept called play to earn that just go against this traditional concept, right? You're just not wasting your time and money inside the game, you're actually earning something by playing. And instead of putting the money and let the money depreciate, I can give example like many players that spend millions or 10 millions even the US dollars on some games, and at the time when they try to quit the game, they try to sell the account, and they're gonna sell the account around like only 10,000, 20,000 US dollars. You see how much depreciation these games are. Instead of that, if you are a blockchain gamer, like at the time when you want to quit, or even you want to exchange, like each of the NFTs is like still value a large amount of money, or yeah. So instead of depreciating that fast. So in the future, I think the trend is definitely going to be the blockchain going to be dominate the game industry. According to if you are a real gamer, you really want to play some games instead of like wasting your money and time. Like blockchain is definitely your solution. Yeah.
Valentin, do you want to add something?
In Philippines, there are more game token users and Ronin wallet holders than entire number of banking accounts, credit card accounts. So the Philippine population, they open account in a better financial system to play. And then they start to use this Ronin tokens, NFTs, to pay for their rents, utilities. They exchange it to USDT, they exchange it to local money. And there are funds which invest to bring these people into the games. They're doing the farming. So they gather big communities and ask them to play, give them their game NFTs, which they start to train. And this is a token adoption machine, one of the biggest token adoption machine now in the world. The other interesting thing that NFT is something in between cryptocurrency and equity. So it's on capital markets, the larger market for currency, for equity, then the commodities market. So what we see before, it was currencies. So now there was $2 trillion, Bitcoin, Ethereum, startup tokens. I believe you will also launch currency, that's currency. Then there are NFTs, represent not a money, but some type of asset, not yet equity. And this enabled regular people to launch their assets rather than startups. That's interesting. And one important other thing is that in the US, NFT is not security. So most of the currencies, utility tokens, SEC will say this may be security. You should do Reg A+. It should be tradable on regulated exchanges, alternative trading systems. And then if you do this Reg A+, you are security everywhere in the world. So that's why there are not much tokens launched in the US. They are outside the US. However, NFT can be launched by American person. So it's not security. And that's, I believe this is the second big reason of this inflow of NFT. And next will be equity.
Yeah, you mentioned Axie Infinity, and in Philippines, actually, I think around half of the user, of the player for Axie Infinity are from Philippines. Is that correct, Bill? Yeah. And Bill, yeah, you mentioned that depreciation, right, of the access of the money in the games. And yes, this has happened with the traditional gaming platform, traditional model. But in the GameFi, that is differently. But then, I mean, right now, when GameFi is invented by the blockchain guy. So basically, until now, only the blockchain guy is doing GameFi. And I mean, what if in the future we have a big player like, I mean, they already invested in GameFi, like the EA, the big one. They already invested in the play and earns model, and they want to come in 2022. What do you think that, I mean, right now we focus on play or the earn. But when the EA coming in, we might have, I mean, the big competition with them because they are professional in gaming. Because right now, the games that we play and earn has some obstacle I can see for, I mean, actually for the player. They have to be familiar with blockchain. They have to install multiple wallet to store things. They have to find the game because it's not easy. It's not on the App Store. None of the play and earn game on the App Store. You have to play somewhere else. You have to install wallet. You have to be a little bit familiar with blockchains. So this is the obstacle. For the publisher, this is even more because normally they run the traditional model. Right now they have to be, I mean, more creative on creating the economy, in-game economy, in order to balance in-game and outside the crypto world. So I think the gameplay is something that they're going to focus in the next few years in order to survive this competition. When EA come in, the crypto guys will be very careful for developing new games. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, I think this process is going to take some time. Like as you said, right now there are some barrier between the circles, right? And I think when the time starts to move on, we're going to reach a point where like we will have some kind of unified platforms as we have right now for the App Store and Google Play. Like in the future, I think like we call it a metaverse. Like we'll have some platforms that are going to unite everybody and lay down the barrier that everybody can join easily. And in the future, what was the other question?
We're going to have competition when the big game publisher like the EA coming in the play and earn and start doing game with blockchains. Right now is the reward and reward for the novelty for the guy like us doing blockchain. We do games. We are the first guy to do that. But then the professional gaming like the EA coming in, then they have a better gameplay. Because I think the weak point right now for the publisher play and earn right now is the gameplay. Some game is more focused on earning than playing. This is what I find that a little bit, sad about this model. So yeah, this is the question. What do you think?
Yeah, I think in the future this part are going to be separating into different fields. Like the earning part will be one group of people just focus on that. And I think for the gaming part, as you mentioned, like the big publishers, if they come inside this industry, I think eventually the community and the people, the players actually will more focus on the gameplay, right? Because actually right now play to earn, at least half of the community is focused on the earning part. Not too many people actually focus on the playing part. As this is the right now trending, as you mentioned, not majority of the people actually come inside the community. But when this barrier is laid down and every gamers from the world actually entering this blockchain industry, like everybody start to play, I think the tension is going to be shifted to the gameplay part itself.
The gameplay, right?
Yes, yes.
And I can see that we, the blockchain guy, we don't have experience with the gaming's professional gaming publisher. We don't have the mechanism experience before in publishing games. And this is something that I'm worried with my projects of gaming. Because right now, okay, this year we still can do that, but 2023, 24, I don't know, we have to improve the gameplay and also the economy inside.
Yes, as we can see, most of the games that already have the blockchain games in the market, they are very simple games comparing to...
Too simple.
Yeah, comparing to the traditional games, right? So mostly of them, they focus on the play to earn part. That's what I mean, right? Like in the future, when the big publishers they come, they have like many fancy games bring out, and also they build on the blockchain, and they also have the play to earn. Most of people will shift to the big games, you see, for the real gamers. When the more people come in.
I think the perfect model for the future is the combination, the collaboration between the blockchain guy like us and the game publisher like the EA, because they can hire people, but they don't have much experience in blockchain like us. So yeah, collaboration is a better choice for the future of GameFi.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, so go back a little bit when you, Valentin, you mentioned the booming of NFT, right? And last year, you know that NFT sale is reaching 2 billion, 2021, especially during COVID duration. And even some traditional auction house like Christie is starting to sell NFT assets. And if I remember well, there is one auction of some guy called the Beeper. And the artwork, NFT artwork, reached the price of, staggering number of 69 million US dollar. Yeah, a lot of money. And yes, it is grabbed a lot of headline on the newspaper this year of everything around NFT. And we have one expert in physical access, back NFT here. I want to ask about the process of having the access, the physical access back for the NFT in your company. Jodie.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, we really saw the gap to be backing the NFT by a physical asset, and we wanted to marry the two pieces of art together and really see them as one asset. So we're working with our contemporary artists to create and commission a new piece of art, and then we will put that on the blockchain. So we'll use smart contracts and the metadata to marry those two assets together.
Okay, have you worked with gaming company or other kind of blockchain company or the exchange in order to have your business to grow?
Yeah, so we are quite focused on impact, and like a lot of companies here, you want to give back and to be able to have an impact. So we spoke with a gaming company who actually we can sponsor a gamer to game. It's around $1,500, for example, we would give, and then that'll then generate them revenue as they game. So that person will be chosen from like an unprivileged background. So that's the way to really use GameFi to have impact. And it's something that we've considered in our business model.
Yeah. Okay, understand. Thank you. Okay, come back to NFT. We have gaming apply NFT, but actually the NFT itself, the marketplace of NFT is booming. And there is something they talk about. There are many debates lately about the regulations, about the tax issue with the NFT, which I think sooner or later we have to talk about that because the government regulator, they are starting to look at the NFT marketplace as something to be controlled. And right now, a big NFT market, they don't follow any AML regulations and requirements right now. And what do you think that, do they have to follow AML? And do they have to follow the KYC requirement in order to survive? Because sooner or later they have to follow. And what is the best possible approach to this matter? Starting with Bill. I think you're thinking, right?
So in short, the
Valentin
Security
first.
Exchange Commission, they are heavily regulating price manipulation, right? So in NFT, there are a lot of price manipulation. There are the same people buy and sell
You're right.
token to each other. If it would be security, SEC will come in. If there is American person involved and bought a token, NFT, and then prove that somebody resell it to himself to pump price and then sell to him its higher price, it will be a criminal investigation with a criminal penalty. So, this can come into radar. That's my view.
I mean, everybody is debating that NFT booming right now is something similar to the ICO in 2017, which really hard to control, and it should be regulated somehow. So, I mean, this is going to happen. Yeah, this is going to happen. What is going to happen, we don't know. Bill, what is your opinions?
Yeah, I think eventually we'll have something similar to the
ICO.
centralized. Yeah. I think everything depends on the community and actually people who are actually developing the blockchain and people who are actually early joiners. They will set up this kind of rules, and we will have some smart contract-wise to have the constraints on this society. I don't think government can control this because the whole thing is decentralized, it's against the government part. But for example, in China, and some other countries also, they not encouraging this kind of things because it's very hard for them to protect the weak people, you see, because there's no regulations and no laws that can protect these people. But in the future, I think, according to the community itself, that, for example, DAO and this kind of things, yeah, we'll have our own ecosystem that people are gonna protect.
Decide by themselves.
Yes,
right?
yes. So instead of the government control, that the community control it by themselves, and under these regulations, everybody gonna be safe.
Yeah, you mentioned China last year. Everything around crypto was banned from last year.
Yes.
So
China banned this kind of things.
Banned crypto,
yes,
totally.
Yes.
And something like gaming with crypto and other things with crypto is also banned.
Yes.
So it affects many company, many business in China, and this is creating the channel to Chinese company to move to other locations like Dubai, right?
Yes. Because right now they haven't found any sophisticated way to make this industry stabilized and everything under regulations. That's why they feel like it's very unsafe. Yeah.
Ismail, do you have any opinion on that matter? Okay.
I guess what I want to touch on is really the approach that you mentioned. How can we move forward in actually using NFT as a utility? I find the whole NFT thing very ironic because I think the ethos behind making it was really to eliminate trust for your ownership and things. So it's like a digital representation of things that you own. And for some reason, a lot of people don't actually utilize it in the way it's supposed to because of what's happening right now with CryptoKitties, Bored Apes, and the rest. The value keeps going up and down. So I think, considering that there's a lot of different sort of utilities for it, from leisure to art, I think we should really look at it for why it was made, right? And I think we should start trying to utilize NFTs within the legal space first to show that it actually works. And then start moving forward using that as a fundamental. And I think a lot of institutions are already doing that. If you look at IBM, for example, they're investing in several companies that are utilizing NFTs for legal functionalities like job contracts or partnership contracts and so on and so forth. So I think for me that's kind of the first approach. Once you show traditional companies that there's utility within their industry, and then they're going to start allowing the blockchain people to start doing what they need to do. Yeah, set the example. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Thank you, Ismail. So, the topic is interesting. When you mentioned DAO and NFT, I want to talk more. And topic will go on. But unfortunately, we don't have time to, to actually talk more. So, we will talk more when we have the networking dinner with all of you. And in the last 5 minutes, I want to let the audience ask a question for the panelists here, and myself too, about the topic that we have talked. Any question, everyone, for the topic?
Thank you for the lovely panel. This was a great session. I just have a question for the founder of Metastoric. Hi, Jodie, how are you doing today?
Hello, thank you.
I'm pretty interested in your concept of your platform.
Thank you.
I just want to know, is there any use cases for the art, the contemporary art that you'll be digitally storing in your marketplace, or let's say the digital representation of which you'll be selling in your marketplace? What other use cases for that? Because I think as like the panel discussed, for example, for gaming, for example, the NFT can be utilized in a bunch of different manners. So it's not just limited or restricted to being a piece of digital art, right? And in this case, it can grow over value, right? Grow over time in value, sorry. I just want to know if this is something that you've planned or you've foreseen in terms of, let's say, your art pieces or your NFT art pieces, not just being an art piece or something like that. Any use cases other than just being an art piece.
So to begin with, we're just starting with art, but in the future we will look to work with NFTs in other areas, maybe in property and things like that. Is that the question you're asking? Yes. Yeah. So initially we wanted to start with art, as my background is art and design at university. So I really saw the value in taking a physical art piece and then turning it into NFT and marrying those two pieces together. Also with the art fund that I'm launching, again, that will be will acquire digital assets. Right now it predominantly wanted to be an NFT fund, but we are deciding whether we'll diversify that fund into other assets. So we'll see.
Just one follow-up question.
And just to be clear, I'm not a marketplace, but I'm a producer of NFTs. So we'll partner with other marketplaces to sell the digital assets.
Fair enough. Yes, I think that answers my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any more questions for our panelists and myself? Please raise your hand. Okay, so I think we're going to move on with the next chapter of this event. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you all the panelists to join us today. Thank you.